Lori Nathanson. I'm the Executive Director of Hunterdon Art Museum. We're so happy to see all of you here. We're very excited about opening 3 really great shows. Cynthia Carlson's Serious Play, Ellen Siegel's Tell Me a Story, and of course Kate Dodd's new work. Some of you may not know this, but 10 days ago the museum flooded. We had mud and water throughout the entire first floor. And so Kate, who had been promised 2 weeks to install, did it all in 4 days. So she was so incredibly gracious and wonderful to work with, and I just want to thank her for being so understanding and just such a pleasure to work with. So just a few words about Kate. She's exhibited her work nationally in museums, galleries, and colleges in numerous solo and group shows, including in Cutters, which was a show we had here, curated by Mary Birmingham in 2009. She's been awarded residencies at McDowell, Rutgers Center for Innovative Print and Paper Making, the Vermont Studio School, and at other institutions. In addition to site-specific installations, Kate has had several large-scale works commissioned by the New Jersey Transit and by Redwood City Public Library in California. Kate received her BFA from Pratt and her MFA from Columbia. It is my pleasure to turn the mic over to Kate, who will talk to us a bit about her work.
Can't tell from this, but feel free to come on in more so that, like, because it looks like there's a traffic jam back there. So, come on in. So what Marjorie didn't tell you is that she was here with me every minute that I was installing, including helping to make some of the components and feeding me and staying as late as we needed to. And so I just want to thank you, Marjorie, for doing a great job and taking a great leap of faith with me and standing by me. It was terrific working with you as well. And we have some other really great people at the museum here. David, I don't know if he's in here, did a fantastic job with the lighting and setting things up and making really important decisions that made the show look great. And I'm really impressed with the museum's whole community. Ellen Mayer is here, and she is helping keeping things run, and Rosemary and all these, Mary Ellen and all these volunteers. There's Rosemary and Chris and Christine and Lisa, and I'm sure I'm leaving people out that I've been introduced to, but it's just been a real pleasure working in such a vibrant museum community. So first of all, thank you for that.
Hey, use the mic.
Is it not working? Okay. That's why I was okay. Close. Yes. All right. For everyone who missed what I just said, it was thank you. And thank you to all of you for coming. It's just really, truly heartwarming to have all of you here and to see so many people that I love and have known through the years and have known my work in various different ways. And so to have you at my first museum show is really exciting. So thank you for coming. I'll just give you a little bit of an overview of what's in the show and keep my words pretty short. But if you've read the wall text or if you're familiar with my work, then one of the things that you might notice right away is that everything here is made of multiples, and that the multiples are often things that are repurposed from their original function. The probably foremost thing here that you may not understand what it originally was is the installation called production line that I'll let you decide which is the beginning and which is the end, this or the lobby, but that all is made out of discarded beauty product packaging that was abandoned in a warehouse next to where my studio is. And you would not believe the quantities of stuff that was being thrown out. In this case, mostly what I've used is lipstick and perfume tubes, but there was endless stuff. And so when I was driving here today, I was thinking about this thing of using multiples and of loving materials, and thinking about how when I was a kid, I had a lot of collections. Of course, there was Halloween candy, but there were also shells and yarn and all these different things, and I love the collecting so much. And I don't really collect things anymore in that way, because I think at some point I shifted over from collecting individual objects to amassing quantity. And so a lot of the work here is about the quantity of stuff I've amassed and what that relationship is between amassing things, wanting things, desiring things, and that kind of desire and how it impacts the world. And so I've explored it in a bunch of different ways. A lot of the pieces that are made out of the repurposed children's Golden Book encyclopedias, the pieces that you see with text primarily. What I'm fascinated with about those books, besides appreciating their aesthetic qualities, is that they're so full of a story of human progress and the ability of humans to take the entire world and turn everything into a resource for our purposes and our pleasure. And so reading through them is just such a shocking contrast to the state that we all find ourselves in today. So that's one thing that I'm interested in exploring there. In the case of the beauty products, I'm also interested in this idea of how seduced people are, how much luxury is kind of supported as an important expenditure in society, and then what happens when it is just the slightest bit discarded and how much we lose interest in it. And so I also was thinking about this particular portion of the piece as kind of a dressing room or a fitting room. A little bit the idea of a joke on Yo-Yo Kusama's Infinity Room, if you know those mirrored places, and the idea that when you go in there, you can't possibly see yourself. All you can see is you wanting to see you. And so what do? You cover yourself up with all of the products that create all of this. And because this is a mill and originally produced things in the most technologically advanced way of the day, I thought it appropriate to comment on that idea of production and things being created in quantity and then sent out elsewhere, especially because I was so inspired by the ceiling in this room and the fact that all of the old chutes are still here from when it was a mill and that kind of thing. And so I'm playing with that idea a little bit of producing huge quantities, originally flour, and now perhaps something that is a little bit less useful to us. I'm happy to answer questions, but I know there's also more to hear upstairs. There's a great show by Cynthia Carlson and by Ellen Siegel, and so I don't want to take up their time, but feel free to approach me and ask questions, and thank you again everyone for coming.